The link featuring Sabrina Salas-Mantanani, Chris Barnett, but starring the one and only Jason Solis. Jason, good morning.
Gee, no pressure. well, there is no pressure whatsoever for our friends over at the University of Guam because the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences are hosting a wonderful forum, and I have here in the KUM newsroom Dr. Charlene Santos Bamba and Dr. David Ruskin. There you go. Sorry, my with my eyesight and everything like that, I'm hoping you guys will open an optometry school pretty soon. So, doctors, thanks so much for joining us. And I know we're a little bit behind, but thanks so much for waiting. And congratulations on being able to host this conference. Never an easy thing to do in real life. Maybe a little bit more challenging virtually. And that is how we're doing the Class Research Conference this year. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Jason. First of all, thank you for having us on the show. We're really excited to be here.
Of course, Charlene. You're always welcome here.
But yes, it will be held virtually this year, and because of our current situation, and we're actually collaborating with the university's Global Learning and Engagement Office under the direction of Mr. Carlos Taitano and Amanda Blas. And Dr. David Ruskin here is the chair of the conference this year.
Okay, as I love interviewing academics, and I also love it when we're interviewing more than one person here in Zoom, and when one of them actually has the virtual background of the school that's putting on the conference, and the other one has an office full of books. I mean, I feel completely at ease, and I'm very, very excited to see what kind of information you will be presented. So, Dr. Ruskin, exactly what type of material are you will you go over? Because I understand the theme of the conference is modern issues, traditional solutions.
That's right. And again, thank you for having us this morning.
For sure.
So in the face of the global pandemic, we felt it was important, especially with that and also the other issues facing the island, to try to bring the research from our community, both the research community and the larger community, to see what the existing wisdom was that we could apply to these situations. And so many of the talks that are going to be in the conference have some sort of intersection between the traditional the traditional knowledge and how that can be applied to, say, the COVID-19 situation, or other things like climate change and health and aging.
Excellent. Okay. Well, we have, it's interesting that I'm interviewing two of the faculty members with the Liberal Arts and Social Sciences School right now, because that is the first part of our 8-part series on UOG in preparation for next week's Charter Day or Charter Week or Charter Month. It could be Charter Year at UOG. I mean, we celebrate the achievements of our institution of higher learning. And the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences is actually kicking off that series tonight. So your school is prominently featured. And part of that is, what we were able to glean from Dr. James Selman, one of the esteemed faculty members there, a philosopher, was that, it's in search of knowledge and, study of the humanities and studies of ways of critical thinking greatly benefit society, in any era. And certainly in our current times with modern problems, globally impactful crises and everything like that, critical thinking is probably more than ever, so needed in our island community. So, when it comes to addressing, like you said, Dr. Ruskin, and Charlene, jump in as you see fit, when it comes to addressing the problems that affect us now from a socioeconomic standpoint, or, behavioral, mental health challenges and everything like that, how do we actually take the theme that you're working with and kind of apply that with the critical thinking that young minds at UOG are honing?
I'll take a stab at that.
And that was the world's longest run-on sentence by me, by the way.
That's okay, Jason.
Can you tell I did not major in English?
That's okay, Jason. But, with regard to looking at traditional knowledge, right, and the modern issues that we face today, whether it's pandemic or mental health and self-care, right, there is a community that hosts our institution. And there is a community that is thousands of years old, and a culture and knowledge and wisdom that has been passed on from generation to generation. And I think it behooves us as an academic community to ensure that we harvest some of that wisdom, right? And we use it and we study it. and to help us figure out resolutions to the issues that we face today. There's a reason why Chamorros have lived for so long, right, on Guam and in this area, and it's because of that wisdom, right, that they've accumulated over the years and through the generations and has passed on. And so a lot of times also when we think about kind of healing our community or solving the problems, here on Guam and in many island communities and societies across the world, right, it's about the collective and trying to figure out and how to solve problems for the collective and not necessarily just for individual gain. And so with this instance, I think that particularly in our island community, right, that we use our island identities and the wisdom passed on from those before us, study it, right, and use it again and apply it in the various ways which we can and we are able.
Well, I come from the UOG class of 1996 very proudly, and I remember the one theme that always resonated in my 4 years over there was always, think globally, act locally. That in every single class, like I majored in business, but I got that in art history, in philosophy, in physical education. They're like, if you want to be a strong critical thinker and a proper university student, you have to broaden your mind, but also know how to apply, these solutions, directly to impact, as you said, Dr. Santos Bamba, your local community. So, Dr. Ruskin, it's interesting. And are you also addressing in the conference, it's one thing to come up with theoretical solutions, but then actually posing this to the attendees and saying, and now regardless of whichever industry you come from, this is how we would hope you would implement these things in your own industries, in government, in the military, or are you going to make it like maybe just roundtable and have a big Q&A and say, okay, well, now we've kind of laid out the concepts. Let's talk about how to actually put this into action.
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm glad that you've asked that. A number of the people presenting this year are actually presenting on very practical types of solutions. So, for example, there is a talk by some of the people in the nursing school addressing, well, how does traditional Chamorro medicine and traditional Chamorro healing apply towards how we deal with, say, elders with dementia? And so these are talks that bring in not only this intersection, but also provide a way of a possible set of solutions or a possible set of actions that can be applied towards that as well. So the research community, this is not just theoretical knowledge, this is also applications. And we really favored talks this year that provided some sort of way forward, not just of looking at the past and saying, here's how this might apply, but to say, here's a way that we can actually use that in a productive way.
Yeah, and who is the target audience for this? I know, obviously, we're saying it's a lot of big thinkers and maybe decision makers and everything, but also I'm gleaning from this, and maybe as a testament to the theme, you want a lot of young people and a lot of multi-generational people. So like Dr. Santos Bamba, you said, that tradition of taking care of our communities and the cultural virtues that we hold on to as Guamanians, we can make sure that that's preserved from generation to generation.
Most definitely. We this conference is open and free to the public, right? We want whoever is able to attend, please do so. Not just students, people who are in the workplace, regular workplace, homemakers, right? Students. And I think that the topics that will be presented and these different presentations, I think they're very accessible. And I think that's key here, right? Oftentimes, when people think of the University of Guam and quote unquote research, right, all of a sudden it's not as exciting. But rather, I think that these topics and the presenters have prepared themselves to address a diverse audience and not merely an audience of scholars. And I think that's key here, right? We want to engage with the community and invite them, right? And invite everyone to participate.
Okay, and I've actually got the links right now. I'm putting the lineup of the speakers, and it's a fantastic lineup. So maybe can you give us like a little bit of a sneak peek on who the presenters will be? Because I just put the registration link in our comments. So if you guys are watching us on Facebook Live right now, please make sure to join it. It's a virtual conference, and as the two esteemed scholars that we have with us, They said it's free for the community. So, and you can also see the lineup. So, real quickly, like who are some of the people that we'll be able to hear from?
Well, I'm excited. We've got several, actually. One, we've got Dr. Chris Rasmussen. And Dr. Rasmussen is fairly new to the island, maybe a few years. And he's actually doing a piece on Russian asylum seekers on Guam and looking at kind of the historical approach and what their trajectory may be moving forward. So that's really exciting. We know that the Russian asylum seekers have received some coverage over the past several weeks.
Yeah, we did a very revealing interview with two of the members of that community. I believe they said there's as many as 100 people right now that are Russians that are seeking asylum, like right here on this program. We would love to network them and hopefully like get them involved directly.
Yeah, most definitely. We've also got Dr. Deborah Cabrera, who will be looking at examining the predictors of passive and active littering on Guam. Right? Those who throw their trash, right? What are some of the issues involved there, and looking at people's behaviors at doing that, right? So, we kind of understand people's behaviors and why they do what they do. Maybe we can have a better solution to a problem. And then, really exciting, we have our Honorable Lieutenant Governor Joshua Tenorio, who will be our keynote speaker. And Lieutenant Governor Tenorio, of course, is a wonderful speaker and quite engaging.
Yes.
And he's also going to talk about using traditions and wisdoms and how he and Governor Lulian Guerrero have used that wisdom to help, get through this pandemic and the issues that we have today.
All right, wonderful. So again, you can find the links right now, everybody watching on Facebook Live, in our comment stream for both the lineup of the speakers as well as the registration. So we certainly hope that you would jump in there. And when you pop in the virtual conference, tell them the link sent you and everything. We'd appreciate it. Just let them know that we've got a community here that we're passing on there, because knowledge is power, certainly. Dr. Ruskin, we'll give you the final word as we wrap up this interview, and your thoughts on the upcoming conference and what it's going to mean for our island community, please, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I just wanted to say thanks again for allowing us to talk about the conference this morning. Just wanted to again point out that it's free and open to the entire community, and that we are very excited to be able to have a conference this year at all, and to be able to share some of the research with the community. I think it's a very important function of the university to be not only collecting the knowledge but also producing new knowledge and new ways forward. And so to be able to take that information and share it with the community is a central function of what we do.
All right. Well, thank you so much, doctors, and good luck to you and your colleagues. I always enjoy attending a good conference. I mean, you come away with so much more knowledge, things to think about, and that really is the point. So best of luck to you, and we'll see you at the conference.
Thank you so much. I know you've shared the URL in text. Can we also just share it verbally?
Oh, sure. Yeah, certainly.
So we've got uog.edu/class-arc. That's CLAS-ARC. Thank you so much.
All right. Very nice. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us.
Adjust.
All right, Ajos, and we have some music for you now, Chris, as we always do right here. Our Cover Me segment is proudly brought to you by Burger King. We feature wonderful artists throughout the island, throughout the world, who have a passion for music, who have the gift in their heart and want to share it with you. And we have an amazing performer right now. He's someone that